All right, in this video we are going to do a couple more examples using our multiplication properties of exponents. So those are the product rule, the power of a power rule, and the power of a product rule, which are all written right here for you to use for a reference. So our first example is -2 to the 8th times -2. So this -2, it doesn't have any exponents on it. So we think of that as having an exponent of 1. So that makes this a product rule. So we have the same base, the -2, with different exponents that we're going to add together. So it becomes -2 to the 8 plus 1, which is -2 to the 9th power. Now, you could also simplify that to be -5/12, and that's totally acceptable. Our second example is 2x to the 4th, y to the 5th, all squared, and then times y to the 3rd power. So I'm going to cover up that y to the 3rd power first, and look at this 2x to the 4th, y to the 5th squared. So this would be the power of a product. So this 2 out here is going to go to every single term in there. So 2 to the 2nd power, x to the 4 times 2, because it's a power of power, y to the 5 times 2, and then I'm going to bring down that times y cubed over there. 2 squared is 4. 4 times 2 is 8, so we have x to the 8. 5 times 2 is 10, so we have y to the 10. And then now we have to deal with this times y cubed. So now if we look at this y to the 10th times y cubed, we have another product rule. So we're going to add 10 plus 3 to give us y to the 13th, making our answer 4x to the 8th, y to the 13th. Our third problem is 6a to the 3rd times 5a. So just like in number 1 when we said we didn't have an exponent, so we put an invisible 1 on it, I'm going to do the same thing with this a. And now I'm also going to group together the things that are similar. So the 6 and the 5 are similar because they're both constants, and then the a's are similar. So we have 6 times 5 times a to the 3rd times a to the 1st. Now 6 times 5 we know is 30, and then a to the 3rd times a to the 1st is going to follow our product rule. So it's going to be a to the 3 plus 1, which will be a to the 4th power. Now our last example, we have 5z to the 3rd k squared, all to the 2nd power. So this is very similar to this first part of number 2. So we're going to bring, use a different color instead of blue, we're going to bring this exponent out here into all of these inside. So it's going to be 5 squared z to the 3 times 2 k to the 2 times 2. So now 5 squared is 25. 3 times 2 is 6, so z to the 6th. 2 times 2 is 4, k to the 4th. And that's our final answer.